Hello, this is Josif Albertis and I'm going to show you the NDUA demo for the Recommender Service Enabler we have developed. I'm going to show you a scenario for three different, actually these are real users. It's me initially, Josif, we have a Morphia, a partner of mine from NDUA, and also Dimitris, another partner from mine from NDUA. So we have different age range, we have different gender, interests, income, children, marital status and education. You see that with Morphia, actually I differ mainly on the gender and the interests, while Dimitris is much different from us. So I'm going to show you the demo of the application based on this data. What we did initially, we had to collect different check-ins in order to train the system, and also we had to train the system for different products based on the context you have. So we shared this form with our users. We have here a privacy term statement that says how we're going to actually use all this data. And so you authorize Foursquare and you get actually the data, the check-ins of the user. These actually data are stored anonymized and does not actually would not store the real profile of the user, and they are synced after we have filled this in this form. So this is a form for contextual property we use to match users and train a recommender. We do not use existing users, profile of users, just the contextual properties. The country I'm from and my ethnicity here. So now I have trained, I have collected the check-ins and I have matched them with these contextual properties. I do the same with the products. The reason is we do not keep any session, we do not want to track your activity in this application. We want to get your approval for what you do here. So with the same form, you have to go through a different process. We do not interrelate this process with the previous one you have done for check-ins. We get just the contextual properties you give us. So we don't know that the user that has trained before, let's say Foursquare, is the one that actually now trains the product database. What we have done here, so here you rate as many products as possible, and you get a product from an open database of products we have used, because there is no actually service we can get the data from. And you say if you have preference, no preference, if you are slightly different, not interested at all, kind interested, or very interested in this. This is a retro actually Roadstar radio. I like it, so I rate it positively. So also this is a similar one. I like it, kind. The previous one was better actually. So I go through various products. I get a bunch of files every now and then. I have to rate them. The data I get from here, so this DVD, the data I get from here are not directly going to the recommender. We have to go through them and see if you have any error in your data, for example, interest, etc., and then we train the recommender. The way you use the Recommender Service Enabler is through a RESTful service. This is a swagger of this service. So if you want to filter categories of places, you can see the list of categories we support here. They are similar with the Foursquare categories, and this is the categories for products, similar with the open database you have used to collect different products. And this is the interface for products. We have three different methods. You count the shortest path. This is the sum of the weights and the mean of these methods. The category you might want to filter, context you use to interrelate them, and price. Now we have no price in the database because it's open, it's not related with the service. And let's see, now I'm signed out. Let's see what happens when I'm going to get the products. Initially I log in as Josif, so this is me. I contact authorization system of OPENi to get the token, send it to the Recommender Service Enabler, and get the response for different places. So now, with anything enabled, like education, gender, age, and interests, in my current location, I'm going actually to, so these are the properties. I get this from Cloudlet. Let's clarify this, but I say that to the recommender that I want to count into my results, my interest range, etc. So these properties are retrieved also from the Recommender Service Enabler. So for my profile, Yosif, I get mainly universities, colleges around Athens, as you can see here. So these are mainly college, university, etc. And these are the places in Athens. So I left now Athens. But yeah, okay, let's see. Let's experiment and see what happens when I try to measure, to use only my interest to get results. My interests are cinema, games, basketball, movies, fitness, fish tank, reading, travel, business, startup. So now I sent a similar request to the service enabler, Recommender Service Enabler, and here I get mainly event spaces for startup, let's say general entertainment spaces, event spaces, nightclubs, government buildings, stuff like this. So I have to clarify here that these results are based on the categories we get from Recommender, and the places are from Foursquare. So we do not have, we do not get any check-ins from the Cloudlets to avoid any privacy issues. So this was the Recommender for places. Let's see what I get for products. The initial request here has again all the contextual properties given to the Recommender Service Enabler, all these properties, and this is the result I get. The score for the recommendation, I get mainly earphones, televisions, stuff like this from the database based on the training I've done. And I can filter out here with different categories. So for electrical supplies, let's see what is the result for this. So here I get mainly batteries, power generators, stuff like this. So this was a demo for me. Let's log out and log in now with Morphia. If you remember, with Morphia, I differ for interest and gender. So we expect to have similar results and see what happens when we focus on specific properties. So indeed, we get initially university properties here for Morphia, and let's say that we want to differ in interest with Morphia, where actually she has books, dancing, music, programming, gym, travel, and movies. So indeed, the Morphia has mainly bars around Athens, circus, cafes, etc. These are the ones she gets. This is a Chelsea hotel, this nice bar next to me. Let's see what happens with the Morphia when she goes for products. So she gets again earphones, but she has different order here, different score also compared with me, more movies, because she has focus on actually videos, etc. Let's see what happens when we filter out of Morphia with the gender. Oh, so she gets mainly televisions and some movies here. But you can see with a much smaller score here because the products were coming basically from a different category. So that was a demo for Morphia, and let's close our demo here with Dimitris, the user that is quite different from all of us. Let's see. Remember that Dimitris has different age range, different interests, but much less than we expect here, different income and marital status. Initially, we can see that for all the properties, Dimitris gets the same to different users. The main reason is that the system is trained with users coming from the same background, and we get categories to get results from Foursquare, so we cannot get much personalized data here. So let's say that I'm interested in the current daytime, where people go on this current daytime here in Athens. So it's 4 o'clock here, it's close to the evening in Athens, and what is recommended to Dimitris is here a list of parks, the Silikabetus, a hill next to Acropolis, the National Garden, stuff like this. So mainly parks are given to Dimitris for this contextual information. Actually, these are not personalized results, and let's see what happens if we count age and interests for Dimitris, where he differs. Let's see what happens. So he gets here event spaces and stuff like this. For this, he's more influenced from my results because we have Dimitris has not given any training data for this demo. He has no Foursquare, so he's influenced mainly from me in my background here. And let's go for recommended products. Dimitris has gone through the process, and he has rated all the different products, actually some of them. So he gets, this is for all the properties of Dimitris. He has different scores here. Let's see what happens if we have only age and interest for Dimitris. So he mainly gets audiovisual stuff like this Logitech for presentations, camera, and etc. So that was a demo for three different users for the OPENi Recommender. Thank you very much for your time. You can find the code in GitHub.